How's everyone? I decided that I'm just going to bite the bullet and start editing. One of the things that I'm trying to live by in this season of the year, or like this year in general, is to do things poorly. And like, I'm really scared to start editing, and I don't really know why. I feel like I'm gonna be bad at it, but I think that's okay. I think it's okay to be bad at something because that's going to give me more information than like researching how to do it well. Um, because when like I all the school that I had like in high school and stuff, like all the English classes and stuff, that didn't really prepare me at all for writing. I mean, of course it did some, but it's not what gave me the confidence to write. Doing a bad job is what gave me the confidence to write. And to edit, I think, is going to be the same thing. So, I thought I would just like at least read the first chapter of the book that I want to edit. So, the book that I want to edit first is actually my third manuscript that I have a first draft of. And the first manuscript that I had was about like a bunch of girls that are about to turn 13. And I need to revisit that different um with different experience because it was the first one that I did. I did that poorly, and doing that poorly was uh, the thing that gave me the most confidence to be able to do uh, to write my manuscripts better. Then the next manuscript that I wrote, I actually have decided to make that turn that into a the fifth installment of like a 5-part series. So I'm not going to get to editing that until I at least do the outlines for the other 4 books leading up to it. But now that one is also kind of on the back burner. So the third manuscript that I wrote, that is the one that I want to do. Hello, Dylan. Thanks for joining. Um, so my third manuscript, which is about a boy in college, the that is the one that I want to edit first, and I really want to edit this year. I want to edit this book this year. Hello. So even though I don't know what I'm doing today, I'm still going to try to do it. At least what I want to do is read the first chapter of the book. Hello. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. So, this book is the working title, at least, is illustrated by Daniel Amahan. And the first chapter, so I didn't break it down into like actual chapters yet. I just broke it down into parts as I was writing it. And I called, like, as I did my first read through, when I was like halfway through writing it, then I took a long break. So I had to do a first read through then to come back and like know what I was writing about. So when I did that, I went through and I just wrote what happened on the things that I wrote. So what I have written here is meet mom, drive to school, meet Hallie. So that's what happens in this part. It's only 5 pages, so I'm gonna go ahead and read it, and then see how I feel when it comes to editing. All right, here we go. I wonder how tall a trapeze would have to be for me to be able to swing back to school. I don't mind driving too much. Any anxiety of driving on the highway is offset by the peace I have being alone. But still, if it was possible, I would take the chance. I would climb up from my bedroom here, swing to, then I have in parentheses the town the college is in. So I have to choose a town that the college is in and land right in my dorm room bed. I wouldn't have to walk past any parties. No drunk people would forget that I'm not their friend and try to talk to me. I would soar through the air all by myself and nobody would be able to get to me. I start to draw a picture from the trapeze artist's point of view, the earth far below and the trapeze at their fingertips. But the peace wouldn't last long. It never does. People would notice me and want to ask me all kinds of questions. How long did it take to build the trapeze? Is it scary? Can they try my trapeze? People from school would have direct trapeze access to my bedroom at home, so that's a serious no. Also, it can never work out because there has to be someone on the other side to catch you, and I definitely don't have that. I toss my pencil back in the direction of my pencil case, but it doesn't go in. I get up, stretch my back, and get into bed. I shouldn't be drawing now anyway. I should take this time to watch cartoons in peace, without any headphones, without any distractions. There's only a few hours before I have to head back to school, so I should enjoy the good life while I can. Nobody will bother me here. Alright, so far, what I have written is like kind of exposition into my main character, Daniel's head, how he feels about being a college student, how he feels about having to drive back to college right now. I am a fan so far because I feel like this is going to speak to a certain kind of people, and I think it will. Hello, hi Jackie. Thanks for joining us. I think it will. What's the word? Like, get the reader interested. So the only thing so far that I need to do is fill in the town that the college is in. I don't know if I made that up already or not. Oh, good. You're here. I heard someone. I don't know if this is uh, present tense or past tense. So maybe I hear someone say from out in the hall just after I start my show. Maybe I spoke too soon and someone will bother me. My mom. As soon as I have the thought, I regret it. Mom's the opposite of a bother. I have enjoyed being at home this past month and getting to spend time with her. She's been protecting me from unwanted attention more than anyone, so without her, I'd be subject to even more disruptions. I'm just so used to spending time by myself, and everyone knows that time by yourself in your own home is 100,000 times better than time alone in the dorm. Hey, Mom, I'm in here, I say as I pause my show. Okay, so it looks like it is present tense. Good. I thought you were at the creek. Come eat something before you go. Are you all packed up? Almost. I just have to grab a few things. Okay. Food is ready when you are. Thanks, Mom. I pick up the trapeze drawing and observe it to see if I should bring it with me or not. I stop myself before just shoving it into my backpack. I smooth the paper back out and stack it with my letters. Consider getting a book, the book, to put my papers in to keep them from getting wrinkled. I walk over to my shelf and run my fingers across the different editions, like I've done 1,000 times before. I stop at the first edition and I take it off the shelf to flip through. So here I've introduced the mom, how Daniel feels about his mom, and how it's more or less positive, but there's a little bit of shakiness there. Um, and then also I talk about the book, and now I'm going to talk about the book even more. My parents wrote a book, and then I put in brackets the name of book, so I still have to figure that out. So something that I haven't done for this, there's a book within the book, and I have to write that book within the book. It's a children's book, so it shouldn't um, like take me too long to write that book, or because I need to have it for different parts of this book. So I haven't done that yet, so I still have to do that. So my parents wrote a book, or at least my mom did. I know my mom did. Everyone thinks my dad had a hand in it too, but I don't buy it. I never met the man. I share a name with him, but that's it. I close the book. Illustrated by Daniel Amahan is written in tiny letters at the bottom of the cover. I used to imagine that it would be I used to ma- I used to imagine what it would be like if that was actually referring to me and not him. I placed the book carefully back in its place next to the others. I scoff at the sight of illustrated by Daniel Amahan, growing on each subsequent edition. He kept getting more and more credit, and it bothered me. He didn't deserve any of it. I know nothing about the man who gave me his name, and that's all I need to know. I do, however, know my mom. Through the years of having her tell me bedtime stories and then help me with my projects, I know she is capable of writing it all by herself. I always suspected she wrote the whole thing herself. As I got older, I started investigating, and I've never been more sure of it. I know she has been lying to me. I can tell by how she acts when she thinks I'm not watching. It has only just recently occurred to me that in all these years she's been lying to me, she's also been lying to herself. So, what I have there is I talk about a little bit more of the conflict that uh, Daniel has been having with his relationship with his mom, his relationship with his father. Come in. Hey. And um, somewhat scissors.
Viscous, yeah. Thank you. I will leave them on the big table. So
Okay.
I don't interrupt you.
Okay.
So I'll make sure to bring them back downstairs.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Love you.
You're welcome. I love you. Yeah, sorry about that. You just needed scissors. Um, so I was talking about how he has these feelings about his mom and his dad that he's never met, but has the same name as, and also the feelings he has towards the book. Um, so there's a lot there. A lot is put out right there in the beginning, the first couple of pages. All right, and then I have a little one of those breaks. Everyone lies to themselves. Oh, also, I established that this Daniel is very navel gazy, which is my favorite thing to write. Everyone lies to themselves. It's a product of our imperfect memories and our need to survive. It's true that we wouldn't have most of what we have if it wasn't for the credit going to my. Let me start that again. Everyone lies to themselves. It's a product of our imperfect memories and our need to survive. It's true that we wouldn't have most of what we have if it wasn't for the credit going to my father. Hello. Hi, Ava. Thank you for joining. We used to live in a garage apartment even after the book was published, and we were lucky to even have that. I forgive my mom for lying. I didn't forgive my father for lying. Why should I? But I'm not plagued by resentment or bitterness. I am plagued with curiosity. I know my mom lied so that she could take care of me, but why is she still so sad? I never cared if my father wanted to meet me or have a family with us. So why did he have to lie about it? It would be too risky to have the book with me in the dorm anyway. I take out my sketchbook, file the papers away, and do one more double check to make sure I have everything I want to go back to school. Then I double check my room to make sure everything I want to stay here is in place. I visualize myself walking back in at the I visualize myself walking back in at spring break with everything just so. It can't come soon enough. So he's going back to school for the second semester, and he's already thinking about spring break because he's going to school, he's getting his education, but he's not happy about it. This is a book that I've written. Yeah, so this is my first draft of a book that I'm working on, I have to start editing it because it's never going to go anywhere if I don't start editing it. And I thought at least the first step is to read the first chapter. And sometimes, and like already, I feel like pretty good about this book and like what I've written here so far. So I probably do need help editing, but I at least have to go through it a little bit first. Okay, so now he's back with his mom. Mom, my birthday was last week. You don't have to keep making cakes. I loved having my birthday at home with my mom. I never wanted to celebrate at school, but even more so now, I want to avoid college parties. At least I don't turn 21 until next year. 21st birthday parties seem like the last place I'd ever want to be. These are brownies. They travel better. Oh, okay. Sit, eat. Are you sure you have everything? My mom said, not sitting down to join me, but floating around the kitchen, packing things up for me. Do you need more food to bring? Yes, please, I said. Of course I'll take food. The more food I bring from home, the less I'll have to sneak food up from the dining hall. I know my mom didn't mind. She liked not having to worry about me. Good, you can microwave it. Mom stopped what she was doing, but didn't turn to look at me when she said, Do you know what classes you're going to take? Yeah, I said, knowing what was coming next. You'll choose a major soon then, right? Probably, Mom. I don't know. Because you can major in whatever you like, Daniel. There's no pressure. My mom had gall saying that when she was clearly pressuring me. I know. I will. Okay. You can call home whenever you need anything, or whenever you want. I know. I will. I guess I should get going so I don't get to school too late. Okay. Better for you to get settled before classes start again. You have your new sketchbook? Yeah. Thanks for the food and everything, I say as I start collecting everything to bring to the car. And Mom? Yeah? I wish I could stay. I know. I wish you could stay too. But college will be good for you, you'll see. I nod, and I take the cooler bag for my mom. Bye, I say. Bye. Even after I stayed in the driveway a few minutes to perfectly set up my driving music, my mom was still at the front door waving goodbye. I waved one last time and backed away. The drive to school was not that far, but it was far enough that I didn't get to come home on the weekends. I did miss my mom, and I wonder how she spends her time when I'm gone. She works at blank in the daytime. I didn't fill that in. But how does she spend her nights now that I'm not around? She always has. She's always had. Hmm, she always had side jobs when I was younger, before we got book money. She would take me along to babysit other kids or clean houses. When she got tired of that, she did logos and wrote copy for small brands. She always kept busy. When I was really young, I remember her editing the book and getting it ready for publishers. At the beginning of high school, when the book was getting popular, she did interviews and made appearances, and we got a lot of attention. She did her best to shield me from it, but it was too hard. As soon as we got the money, we needed to move to an actual house in a small town. Well, as soon as we got the money, we needed to move to an actual house in a small town. As soon as we got the money, and I don't, that sentence not good. I'm just gonna highlight it now though. This is what it actually reads. As soon as we got the money we needed to move to an actual house in a small town, we did. So it does make sense that way, but it just doesn't read great. Mom stopped talking. Oh, Mom stopped taking all the interviews, doing any side jobs, and spent as much time as she could taking care of me. She said she wanted to make up for the time she spent working when I was young, but I think she felt guilty about putting me in the spotlight for the book. I would if I were her. But now that I'm gone, I wonder what she does. Whenever I ask, she just says she's working or relaxing. I hope she is. She deserves to relax. I am just so used to seeing her always keeping busy, so I don't really buy it. She never mentions boyfriends, which I would understand if she wanted to keep that private. But she doesn't even mention friends. I can remember one friend outside of the family she has had my whole life. At least she has my aunts. They come by and visit periodically. But are then are there months on end that she only sees the people at work, then goes home and is by herself. That can't be healthy. But I guess it isn't any different from what I try to do for myself. Maybe she had enough of the media attention herself and is just craving some peace and quiet. I can understand that. I still wonder, is it possible she hasn't liked anyone since she was with my father over 20 years ago? I let the music keep playing after I parked. I like choosing long lo-fi mixes of songs from cartoons, movies, or video games, so there was never a distinct stopping point. I observed the pop I observed the parking lot for strangers and visualized walking into my dorm undisrupted. When I feel calm, I make sure my key card and my dorm key are easily accessible from my pocket with one hand. I get my backpack on, put my sketchbook under my arm, and carry everything my mom packed up in my left hand. I retrieve my keys with my right. I swiftly make the journey through the card access back door into the basement elevator. I held my breath when I felt the elevator stop at the first floor. Hopefully, it was someone from another class who wouldn't bother me. The doors opened to reveal my elevator partner. Good. I don't know her. Probably a freshman, because I don't recognize her. She has small features and short chestnut brown hair with bangs. She's wearing an oversized dark blue dress. I couldn't help imagine that if she wore a big red bow, she would look just like Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. She looks me up and down and meets my gaze. So I just noticed that Kiki's Delivery Service is not capitalized or in italics, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Uh, don't you want help to your room? No thanks, I got it, I say. I look down at my shoes. Come on, you're carrying like a million things. Let me help, she insists. No, it's okay. Why? Because I'm a girl? What? No, I can just handle it. It was because it was because she was a girl, but not for the reason she thought it was. I lifted my arm carrying all the food to demonstrate I got everything, and in doing so, I dropped my sketchbook. She jumped down to get it. What if I follow behind you, in case you drop something? Fine, I concede. My name's Hallie, by the way, she offers, following me out of the elevator. Nice to meet you. Don't you have a name? I shook my head, trying to. I shake my head, trying to end the conversation. Okay, fine then. Hallie pulled the drawing of the trapeze out of the sketchbook. Wow, this is incredible. Hey, put that back. And no, it's not incredible. It's just a drawing. Sorry. Hey, Dave, wait up. We both run. We both turn towards the direction of the call. This is exactly why I don't want to be walking around with a girl. If someone sees me with a girl, it gives them more of a reason to talk to me. It is a classmate who lives on my hall, Sawyer. He never got my name right, and I never cared to correct him. Hi, I said. I can see one corner of Hallie's lips curl up. Hi, there's a beginning of the semester party in my room. We're celebrating nobody having any bad grades yet. Come on, you never come. You can bring your girlfriend or whoever. He looks at Hallie. Hi, I'm Sawyer. Hallie. She looks over at me, gauging whether I wanted to go. I couldn't bear the truth of being I couldn't bear the thought of being in the same small room with a bunch of people who either don't know my name or worse, people who did. She must notice my discomfort because she says, Actually, Dave and I have plans. We'll catch up later. It was nice to meet you, Sawyer. Sawyer nods at us and goes back in the direction he came from. Thanks, I said. You can just give me my sketchbook back now. I reached out my hand with the keys, but she didn't comply. So if you don't want me to call you Dave, is there something else you want me to call you? A nickname? I was caught off guard by her question. I never thought about going by a nickname. I always just did everything I could to avoid people calling me anything at all. But a nickname might actually help me. We arrive at my door, and I unlock my door. I, I reach. Let me highlight that too. I reach for the sketchbook and I get a better look at her. She reminds me of of Studio Ghibli so much. It's like she has a soundtrack playing. I remember one of my favorite characters in reply, the Baron. She lets go of the sketchbook. Okay, the Baron. I hope you have a nice night. Maybe I'll see you around. All right, and that's the end of this first part. That was pretty good. I enjoyed reading it, which I always am surprised to see, or to hear, to feel about my books, because like I always think so poorly of myself, and I think like it's going to be bad. And that was pretty fast. I've only been on for 26 minutes, so I'd say maybe about 20 minutes to read that. And we already talked about the book, which is a big central part of my story, is this book that his parents wrote. We already talked about his mom and his dad, about his dad being out of the picture and him never meeting him. We talk about his feelings towards his mom and his mom's feelings towards him a little bit. We talk about how he feels about being in college and how he feels about being social, how introverted he is, how anxious he is. We talk about, oh, we meet Hallie. Hallie's ends up being the love interest and his best friend at school. So that's a lot of stuff. And we kind of have already mentioned some food, which is good. We talk about how he draws. So there's a lot going on there already. So there are some major things that I've noticed. I have to write the book, obviously. I have to write the little book within the book. So the children's book that the parents wrote, I have to write that and at least have like a better idea of what I need to write into the words of this book. I need to pick the town where his college is. I might need to pick the name of his college. I need to make sure that everything is either in present tense or past tense. It seems like I have chosen present tense for the most part, so I need to just make sure everything is in there. And then a major thing is a lot of my sentences are pretty clunky, and I need to figure that out. Um, I might need to put a little bit more, like he said, she said, Hallie said, I said, those kind of things, because as I was reading it and I had like a slightly different voice for each of the characters, it seemed pretty easy to follow, but I think I might be able to put a little bit more of that in because um, it might get a little bit confusing with all of that dialogue. Um, and then the introduction of Sawyer, I think I need to make that a little bit of a bigger deal. All right, so like I said, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing exactly as I go through and read my book again. Any pointers, I would love to hear them. Please leave me any pointers in the comments if you're an editor, if you are a writer yourself. Write down what you do. Do you like highlight things a specific way? Do you edit on paper? Because I was just reading off of my computer, but is it better to actually edit on paper? Does that make it easier to visualize? I'm a very visual person, so that might be something that I think about. Um, for reference, what all I just wrote, everything I just read, I mean, without making any edits, is 2,534 words. So a pretty good start. I think the characters that I have so far, the characters that I have with dialogue, that would be Daniel, Daniel's mom, Hallie, and Sawyer. I think they all have a voice, so I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think I need to differentiate them any more than I already have, so that's good. Yeah, I think I just need to go through and make sure things aren't too clunky, but I think on my first read through, I probably will like just write down every single character. I'll write down anything that I need to fill in, such as the school name and what the mom does, for example. And I will start filling those in. And I often have another document that I have just for the edits that I make or the edits that I need to make. So I will have that open too. And that will help me because sometimes, like on part 30 or something that I had written already, I'll have like mom's job in brackets, or um more often I will have chosen the mom's job and not come back and fixed it here, because when I'm doing my first drafts I just always am trying to go forward. So that is something that I'll have to think about. If I've chosen the mom's job already, uh then I will just come back and fill that in here. And yeah, so I think that was really, really good. I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to go through and do some of those things that I talked about, but I'm mostly going to just keep reading it. And this is like, there's a big block for me. Like, writer's block is one thing. I'm not terribly plagued by writer's block, to be honest, but editor's block, like, I haven't edited at all. And I've written like 4 or 5 books, and this is just like, I've just had, it's not like a block where like I don't know what to do. There's a block like I'm so scared to do it. And like I said, I'm not really scared of doing a bad job because I know you can always just keep on editing. Um, and just I'm kind of scared that I can't do it at all. But yeah, I feel a lot better just having started this. So thank you if you came and you joined me and you watched some of this with me. Um, any words of encouragement that you have, please leave them in comments below. I know a lot of you are going to be watching this not live on the rewatch. So if you are rewatching this later, please, any happy emojis that you have, I'm so eager to see those. And that'll help me keep going, and I will keep you posted. I know I'm not the only one here. I know some people are here who are editing something themselves for the first time. So let's keep on lifting each other up, helping each other out, and we can get this done. We can get published. We can do this. So thank you so much for watching today. Subscribe if you want to see more of my struggles and my journey in becoming a published writer. And yeah, so subscribe to this channel. I'll have lots more to come. I'm still working on trying to figure out what I need to do to get an agent, but editing and doing my outlines, those are things that I am actively working on right now. And now I can actually say I'm working on editing this, even though all I did was read this to you guys, but it was so helpful. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you soon. Bye.